What up, y'all? It's KP, the sports chick. So, Arian Foster retired after 8 seasons. Well, actually, like 8.5 seasons because he spent 8 years. Well, let's just even go a step further and say it was really like 6.25 seasons because he was injured so much. But he spent 8 seasons in Houston and like 0.375 of a season in Miami, where he's retired in mid-season, which is so very much like Arian Foster to do that. But he cited, he put this article out on Undisputed, which is owned by Jay-Z, and he puts out this article about the reason why he's retiring at the age of 30, and he's chalking it up to mostly the fact that his body just can't take it anymore, and then he has to retire. And I totally believe that because, like I said, he's been out. Same thing with like Tracy McGrady when he finished his career with the Rockets. His body just couldn't deal his back spasms and but with Tracy McGrady, I just felt like he was lazy at times too. Like he'd get paper cut and he wanted to sit out. I don't believe Arian Foster was like that. I think he had too much pride to just sit out games. But needless to say, his body has had enough. I mean, we can all see that. Do you think that there's something more to it than just that? I can't help but think that the mentality that comes with injuries in the NFL, especially constant, chronic, if you will, injuries like Arian Foster's issues with his groin, his knee. I mean, hamstring. You name it in the leg, and it feels like he's had it. A while back in the day, I thought about becoming a sports psychologist, and when I was reading up on the literature on what sports psychologists do, they deal with things with like helping players, cope with family members who expect you to take care of them, or when you have a bad patch emotionally during a season, people hate you, and then also how you deal with injury once you come back, and how you mentally put away the fact that you were injured and that there is a risk of you getting injured again in the same way or a different way altogether, just bearing that. So there are ways of coping. There are tools to that you can possess to help you process those situations. But I can't help but think that Arian Foster it has more to do than just his body. I feel like he just didn't want to play anymore. I feel like he's mentally done and obviously physically done, but I think he's mentally done in two ways. One of them being that he, obviously with the injuries, I still just don't understand how you can go through major injuries like Tony Romo in his back and his collarbone injuries, and the same thing with Arian Foster and his multiple injuries in the same spots in his back, other places, over and over and over, to the point where he's like last season he was only in 4 games out of 16. And you can't help but think that maybe that just being injured so much makes you believe that if you step back out on that field, you're gonna get injured again. You can't be yourself, and I feel like that's kind of what we saw out of him last season. And he didn't even really have time to be anything recognizably so of himself this season. So that, and then also his mentality, period. He went through a lot in the last few years when he came to that whole cheating scandal, the baby, the divorce he ultimately had due to that situation, and the fact that he was getting injured and not healing in time or properly or enough, and re-injuring yourself. All that stuff I feel like weighs heavily on you. So do you think that his retirement has everything to do with his injury, or do you think that there's more to the story? Because I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he just doesn't want to play anymore. Also, he's brilliant. He's very smart, and no matter what he does, he's going to be good at it probably because he's very intelligent, very capable. So let me know what you think. I think that now really for me, I think that the mental is superseding or bigger than the injury part, because I feel like he can work his way out of the injury. I think he's mentally capable of working his way out of worrying about injury again. But I think that the emotional part for him or the mental part for him trumps that. But he's just not telling us. So what do you think? Let me know at KP the Sports Chick on YouTube, and then you can go to kpthesportschick.com, which is my social media hub. You can find all my videos there, all my social media links. Sometimes there are contests there too, so check me out.